All right, I think we're live. Welcome to the After Buzz.
And it's just me again.
Yeah.
But it's okay because I got a bunch of questions from you guys. Let us start with, let me see here. Where did it go? All right, these ones come from Daniel. And he actually asked a few here. Have you ever been banned from a bar or a store? If yes, what was the reason? Not to my knowledge. They might have something after the fact, but not as far as I know that I've ever been banned from someplace. If you had to pick 3 good and 2 bad players to compete in a sand volleyball tournament from the whole building, so it's KLAQ, KISS, and KROD, who would be good and bad? I don't know. Who's in the building that's nice and tall? You don't want somebody tall. I wouldn't want Buzz.
No, not for
volleyball.
Not for volleyball. Man, that's good. We'd have to get into the sales staff or something for tall people.
You know who'd probably be pretty good? Jed. Because he's tall and lanky.
Jed is tall and lanky.
We got a guy who does like our internet sales here. He'd be a good one to have.
We got a chick on the Vince team, Emily Beardmore. She's reasonably tall, somewhat athletic.
She actually rolled her ankle not too long ago playing volleyball. So you know she plays. So there's a couple that I would take on my team. I wouldn't want Buzz.
Fernie might surprise you, maybe. He'd definitely be a little flailing.
I got a feeling Fernie's sneaky athletic.
Yeah.
Like he sells it more like he's more athletic than he lets on.
He runs like a Muppet, but
yeah,
I think he can get things done.
This. All right, also from Daniel, in my opinion, what is my healthiest habit and what is my unhealthiest habit? They probably both involve eating because I go through cycles. Like I'll eat super healthy and then I'll just like bottom out and then you eat like fast food garbage for, a week or so. So those are probably, I mean, I work out and stuff like that, but it's probably what I eat. Like right now I'm starving because I haven't had anything to eat since 6 o'clock. I'm fucking starving. And does my girlfriend know about each of these? I believe she does. It's, it's food.
She's going to learn.
Yeah.
Oh, else fails.
Let me see here. This comes from Erica. She wants to know if I read and what are some of my favorite books currently reading and so forth. I do read. I read a lot, actually. Most of it's online stories for the show, but I am reading the Song of Ice and Fire books, although I've been working on them for like 2 years. Because I go through I'll crank out like 4 or 5 chapters, and then the book sits for like 2 months, and then I'll go read a couple chapters, and then the book sits for 2 months, and they're fucking huge, man. Like, they're big ass books.
I really love the show, and I've read a lot of crappy fantasy, but I just can't get into the books.
He will spend like full pages describing who is sitting at a table and then like each individual piece of what they're wearing. It's very daunting. But I do love the books. And I think I'm on book 4 right now. So highly recommend those. Most of what I'm currently reading are comic books, actually. I'm reading, like I just traded a bottle of whiskey with Kevin, our boss, for a whole big bag of comic books. He got me, it was like it was one of the first news stories from Batman, Legend of the Dark Knight. And so I'm reading, like he had pretty much most of the whole series. There's a few random ones I gotta go get, but I'm reading that. The ones I'm getting new are the new Batman, Deadpool and Spider-Man. There's another Deadpool comic. I can't remember which one it is I get. And then East of West, which is a comic, is another one that I started to get into, but I kind of missed the whole middle part. So I'm trying to catch up where I was or whatever. So that's really what I'm reading at this point.
Daniel wants to know what the question for me was in the main chat this morning. Of course, me meaning Scott. Little Buzz.
Somebody right here writes here, you like Subarus. I do like Subarus. My family's had Subarus for years. There was a family friend of ours. He was like the Northwest like sales manager for Subaru.
Really?
So he always got a deal on them. And so my parents, he'd like write this letter and it gave you a fantastic deal on the Subaru. So growing up, we had Imprezas. At one point, my mom had a WRX, which was really funny. It was a blue four-door WRX. My mom currently has a Forester. My dad has a what's the other? Not the Impreza, but the it's the one model I wasn't a big fan of. Oh, whatever. Somebody will know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I've just always been a fan of Subarus. Although now I kind of want a truck.
Because I've always wanted a little truck, not a big truck.
See, I want a bigger truck.
Anyway.
Somebody's saying, they think it was about the karate video. Is what they were going to ask you.
They want to know why the karate video is not up.
I guess.
I'm betting. Look, ass monkeys, I got a lot of work to do. All right.
Yeah.
I got all these festivals with balloons that don't always go up. I'm going to get to it. There's a lot of footage, and a lot of it's really, really good. I'm going to work on it this week, but I'm not going to make promises. It's coming, though. I promise you it will come. I just don't know when.
In regards, going back to that book question, if anybody ever has recommendations for books, you can always recommend stuff to me because I'm a big fan of reading.
Sergio says, check out Michael Connelly, The Scarecrow.
Is it a book?
I'm going to assume. Yeah, Michael Connelly. Yeah, he's a novel author.
Actually, those are some other books too. Brown. Da Vinci Code.
Dan Brown?
Dan Brown. Those are like, I really like Da Vinci Code. I liked Angels and Demons more, the book.
Yeah.
And then his other books have been pretty good. There was one that I was trying to read. Like Deception Point was okay. But the Dan Brown books are pretty good. So yeah, any good reads. But I've been reading fiction for so long, I want to get into like a nonfiction.
Like a palate cleanser?
Yeah.
There you go. Hottest gamer character?
I think you could probably go with, you're never going to go wrong with Lara Croft's Tomb Raider.
Nice.
Or Chun-Li.
Oh, Chun-Li. Almost getting a glimpse of those underwear there. B, out of all the radio stations, which is your favorite so far that you've worked?
Probably here. And I'm not just saying that because I'm currently here. This is the first time I've done mornings full time, and I like mornings. I like the station. Like, this is the rockingest station I think that I've worked for. My first one was more of an alternative station, which was okay, but wasn't really my style. The one in Florida never really quite got off. Like, it started out really good. Like, we were playing Pantera and a ton of different stuff that I'm into. And then it kept morphing a little bit, and it just never quite was my kind of station. Whereas this is my kind of station. I thoroughly enjoy listening to it. So I would say hands down, KLAQ is got to be my favorite.
It's a great station. Besides rock, what other genres do you listen to?
Pretty much everything. I was actually introducing my girlfriend this past weekend to Paul Simon's Graceland.
That's a great
I don't
album.
know if she'd ever heard it, but for some reason I randomly got onto it. And I was listening to it, and I asked her about it, and she's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I was like, oh! And we were out at Wet and Wild for Rock on the Water, and I'm like, well, when we leave here, we're going to do nothing but listen to Graceland. And that's what we did.
Nice.
So, I'll listen. And that's one thing I love about Spotify is I can listen to all different genres. Like, I listen to everything from, hip hop to rock to like, if I'm relaxing and I'm reading and stuff, I listen to a lot of Thomas Newman. He's a composer. He's like John Williams kind of. He did the soundtrack to like The Green Mile, to some of the James Bond movies, to Disney Pixar flicks. I'll put it like on random on him and just let it go.
Do you have the premium version of Spotify?
Yes, I do. I do pay for the premium because it's one of the reasons I have it is if I ever need to grab audio from a song.
There you go.
I need it to be the best quality possible because I want to play it back on the air. I want the highest quality. Like, that was actually something that I ran into with Buzz when he recorded this one song. He didn't realize that his hearing is really fucked up.
It's really bad.
Like, it's bad. So
when I'm in the studio, just happen to be hanging out, and I don't have headphones on, I don't need them because I can hear Buzz's headphones.
When he's got them on.
Yeah, when they're on his ears.
And it's like crystal clear coming through his head. Like if you hear feedback or it sounds a little tinny on the air, that is his head. That's basically what happens is he turns his head and his microphone's right here. His headphones are on so loud, the microphone is picking up what is coming through his headphone. Yeah. That's how loud it is. That's a nightmare. But that was one of the things that came up as he recorded the song, and when he played it back on the air, I'm like, that sounded like garbage. Like, we got to figure it out. So then he started to try to figure out what was wrong. And he goes, well, how about now? How does this sound? And I'm like, oh, it sounds perfect. I was like, what did you do? He goes, oh, I paid for it.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, yeah. Like, that's probably, like, he used like a free sample or something like that, I guess. I don't know what it was.
Since you're from Portland but lived in Florida, I say the over-under an amount of time you can spend in the sun before going lobster is 27 minutes. What you say?
I was out in the sun at Rock on the Water for a lot longer than that. I'm super white, like I'm Scottish Norwegian, so my heritage is really white.
That's a bad combination.
But if I am properly like suntan lotion, or even if I burn a little bit and I use aloe vera, I actually tan. Like I don't burn. I actually have the ability to tan.
Son of a bitch. We're ever going to be introduced to the girlfriend, maybe not intentionally, but perhaps a couple selfie on your Instagram, Twitter. It's kind of stalkerish. A little.
There's pictures on my Instagram now of us.
Go find them.
Yeah.
Favorite dark beer?
I'm at Godamus Prime.
Oh,
it's Godamus_Prime is my Instagram handle.
Favorite dark beer?
There's a couple different options, but there's one from Portland called Terminator Stout, which is probably my favorite one.
Interesting. I've never had that. Not sure if you've answered this already, but is El Paso what you expected?
For the most part, a couple things I didn't expect it to be this windy, and I didn't expect snow. Yeah. I really didn't expect, like, maybe a dusting here and there, but like I was snowed in at my place, for a couple of days.
It snowed right before I got to town, and I remember looking at the pictures thinking, like, where am I going?
Yep.
Yeah.
I got one here from Sergio. This actually came in yesterday. He says, coming from a much larger city and moving to a much smaller city, what are the pros and cons? I would say that the major pro of El Paso that I really like is the fact that it's just big enough to get a lot of cool stuff, but not so big that you feel like you're trapped in the busy big city. We get enough concerts that come through here. The one problem with El Paso is it's very isolated. Like there's not a lot, like you got to go for a beefy drive to get to another big city, which has its good and its bad points. But definitely on the good side of it, I see that the size is just about right to where you kind of got that big city feel, but it's not like overwhelming big city.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. What do you do after the show when the workday is over? Give us a day in life.
When the workday's over,
yeah,
it depends. Like my workday today probably won't end. Like okay, so I have to get home to let my dog out. So I got to get out of here by noon, because at that point I've been here for over 8 hours. And then I get home, and if there's still stuff to do, I pull air checks still from home. Like today, I'll post this AMA video. Like I get home, and then I put it up on the BuzzAdamsShow.com website. But after the show, it's just like those remedial tasks that you never hear about when it comes to radio. It's pulling air checks. It's sending out missing copy reports. Like if I have a sponsor that I don't have copy for, I got to send that out. Listening back to the show, pulling the best of stuff. Like it's just all the little remedial stuff that you don't see, in front of cameras and on microphone. That it's boring as shit.
This stuff doesn't happen magically, folks.
Yeah.
Oreos. Prefer the cookie or the filling?
Fucking filling, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's crazy talk. When are we having the group hangout? Want to buy some shots for you and Buzz? That's from
Psychotic Tron, which we found out last week is how to pronounce it. I'm not sure. I think we're working on a Friday or Saturday. Maybe this Saturday might work. I highly doubt Buzz will show up.
Very antisocial.
Yeah, but that's definitely something that you can, and you can hit me up on that too on Twitter. My Twitter handle's at Brandon Goats, and we can plan from there and kind of work something out. Maybe this weekend, hopefully Friday or Saturday. It's just that we were planning on doing it soon, but then like Memorial Day hit, and then we had Rock on the Water, and we had everything else. Like we had to be out at Bowen Ranch at the Ass Crack of Dawn for Balloon Fest, and so yeah. So eventually, hopefully this weekend.
What about the website guy? You want to buy some shots for the website guy?
Yeah, you want to buy some shots for Scott? Hey, he looks like Buzz.
That's right.
That's all you need, man.
I'll flick my hair back, and I'll make my.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got to grow this out and like twist it into the whatever the hell it is he does there.
Will you guys put out more Best of Buzz show CDs again?
No, we're actually what we're hoping to do is to podcast the show.
Yeah,
it's a nice lengthy process, and it's the stuff that's boring as hell. But there's a bunch of videos that Scott and I have had to watch of how to do it according to company policy. Find out what we can and cannot, podcast. And we want to do that instead of put together CDs. And I just saw one here about best of. Do I choose? I'm the one who chooses the best of moments throughout the week.
I control the best of.
I get input from somebody else. Like Buzz and I will talk about it where I'm like, hey, this went kind of well, went pretty good. And so then I'll pull that out for a best of as well. But for the most part, it's me the one that chooses it.
Career goals. You ever want to have your own show? Ever looking for something other than radio production?
I'm happy where I'm at right now. I like being the producer in the other room. Like, it's fun to do like when Buzz is gone for a week, but I prefer having Buzz in his chair and me doing my thing. The only thing, actually another question that I had gotten earlier was, what is the worst part of my job? Under the actual kind of like job title, it's got to be, making time for a bathroom break. Because my ass has to be in there to hit the buttons. And if it's not, we're off the air. And I drink a lot of tea in the morning, a lot of it. So it gets to the point where right around 7:30, I really gotta pee. I gotta go. And
it's funny because 2 or 3 times in the morning, because my office is on the hall where the radio stations are, and I just see him go zoom just right around the corner.
It's me running down the hallway.
It's fun.
And what makes it difficult though too is during the commercial breaks. I'm also working during those commercial breaks. I'm editing audio. If Buzz wants to play Backup on Theater, if there's an air check that needs to be pulled, whatever it may be, I have to do that during the commercial breaks because when we're on the air, I got to be paying attention to the show. So it's a balance in that aspect of completing the work and nature calling.
We should get you a P tube or something. When I'm sure.
If they were to put an outhouse just outside the studio, I would use it. I would have I'm not a fan of outhouses, but I would use it just so I don't have to run across the damn building.
All right, it's about 10:50. Do we want to do one more question?
Yeah, let's do one more.
So Daniel says I should go to the Red Parrot and see if I can get in his buzz.
Here's the thing: is that they don't necessarily, depending on who's there, they don't know it's him. When we show up, we have to show our VIP card to sit in the VIP area. You don't just stroll in and naturally, get the VIP treatment.
I gotta say this about El Paso, in that security here, they don't do a really good job. It's like Rock on the Water. I went and I'm walking up to the back area of the VIPs. And I've got the camera around my neck, which lots of people had cameras around their neck.
Yeah.
I'm with the radio station. They're like, oh, okay. Yeah. Nobody asked for I had no credentials, nothing. Are you ever going to have stripper news again?
I'm not sure. There's a lot of things. And I also got another email about, bringing back some old bits and stuff like that. One of the questions was, would we bring back Mike Evans? His contract was up, so it just didn't get renewed. But some old bits like Spanglish and stuff like that. That's just a matter of pieces being put together. The perfect example, though, something that had gone away that everybody wanted was Shower Thoughts. People were specifically requesting for Shower Thoughts, and we brought it back, and people like it. So that's now going to become a weekly thing where we're going to continue to do Shower Thoughts. Stripper news, it's all depending on people's schedules. If we can get a stripper in here to do it, then yeah. But a lot more goes into this than I think a lot of people think, to where we can just wish it and things happen.
Do we have strippers on speed dial or anything like that? Or
well, I'm sure we do. It's truly.
Don't they have to like stay up all night then to come in on the show?
Yeah, you don't want to go to bed first and then show up all groggy. But it's truly, it's one of those things that you really need to like get everything planned out and properly done in order to do it.
Cool. I think that wraps up this edition. We'll save any other questions that are left over for next week.
Yeah, I'm seeing if you like Sonia, the one you just put up. Shoot me that in an email, like, send that next week so we can wrap this one up. Yeah, so then we will see everybody next week.
Cool. Let's see if we can hog tie some more cast members into the show.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.